25 years ago, you're looking at the problem. 25 years ago, I looked at a distance in our community and assumed a whole lot of all those conversations that I had heard in the past. Oh, so-and-so don't want to work, don't want to take care of the family, that, all of that. It was embedded, whether I liked it or not. But it all came face to face when I saw these young folks, and I will never ever, no matter what I do, understand that pain that you guys have gone through and people of color in those conversations. I can't, but I saw the blood in their footsteps as they walked away, Khalil. I saw that part of it, but I also saw in that this incredible resilience and this desire to be successful. Yes. And so, all that, and so you're talking about becoming, animated in this process. It became, kind of the life mission for me. But it took these folks and the patience that these young folks had with me and others to say, okay, I need to explain this, which is a part of the problem that I'm still trying to reconcile in my own spirit, that it took so long to get to that place. COVID has created a space, as crazy as this time is for all of us with the civil unrest that we have and with the pandemic that's there. God, he doesn't create these moments, but he does create the opportunities for us in these moments to slow down and to pay attention. And I think the whole world right now is paying attention. And as I shared with you guys before we got on camera, the most beautiful part of this has been seeing, like, my niece, and her friends carrying Black Lives Matters posters, that their heart has been touched. And to see that, and to see that love where it should be.
With the unrest, I want to juxtapose this with the marches that are happening right now. And knowing the emphasis that you've put on trust between communities and our legal system, our criminal justice system. How is this impacting you in your office?
Great question. In really profound ways, frankly. So internally, we are having discussions, lots of discussions about how people feel personally, what their personal experiences are about both the civil unrest and the demands, at least, of local demonstrators that specifically implicate our office and the work of our office. And those conversations sometimes are hard to have, but they're really important. And so externally, it's also the local demonstrations and the demands on our office specifically have really forced us to circle around the table and think about important issues that, frankly, were not on our priority agenda even 6 weeks ago, but are now. And so I have been, several weeks ago, I came to the office to watch a demonstration, and I will tell you, I was so moved by, in gratitude that I live in a country where we enjoy such freedom and the right to petition, that people can petition their government, and then the government can react. And we specifically, as it relates to, for example, the public release of body-worn camera footage, a very important topic, trending both nationally but locally as well. We've listened to the petitions of the people and are working to develop a policy that will actually be responsive to the petitions of the people. And so I, in watching this, at least locally, I've really felt a sense of gratitude for living in a country where this can occur. That said, I've also been sad to hear about some of the personal experiences of colleagues that have been my colleagues for a long time that I never knew about until conversations have been spurred because of this moment we find ourselves in.
Wow. So a level of honesty and openness to talk about race and diversity.
And the intersection of race and the justice system, and certainly, to your point, diversity.
Yes. because I know the work that you have been doing in the space of criminal justice reform that goes beyond this moment. I know that it's not something that's just a fanciful kind of issue for you. I'm aware of the legislatively funded conviction review unit that you spearheaded. I'd actually like you to talk a little bit about that, because I think so often it's easy to just pigeonhole responses to what's going on, or it's easy to say someone's just doing something as a reaction to the moment. But I'd like to tease out your motivation for spearheading that legislatively funded initiative, which is leading the country actually in this space.
So when we talk about, again, the public trust and reconciliation, and the power of recognizing mistake and being accountable for mistakes, that's not just individually, that's systems, institutions. And so it was important to me and my administration that words can be empty, and this was a sign that we take this very seriously. And we did not seek the funding or set up this unit either for a PR stunt, and we didn't do it because we thought that there had been a great swath of mistakes we needed to rectify. What we didn't know, but we did it because we wanted people to have faith that where mistakes have been made, and this is a human system that depends on humans, and we all make mistakes, so that where we as a system had made mistakes, we were willing to review them and rectify them. We didn't know where the effort would lead us. As you are very familiar, it led us to overturn the convictions of two men who'd been in prison for almost 43 years, wrongfully convicted, and released from prison. And so I really think and hope that the public knows when when they're in a courtroom, when they're on the other side of us, adverse to us, that they have faith no matter the outcome that we are acting with integrity. That's really important. And so this effort was important to that end. And it's important certainly for those two men, Nathan Myers and Clifford Williams.
Yes. And he said his prayers over all those years, he wept as he told the story. And Dr. Mandela last year was so moved by that story and the action that you took that she personally gave Clifford a set of the Struggle series, artwork from her father. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she was just in tears. And she said, her comment was that this is how justice can work.
And I struggle when we talk about this is how justice can work. I'm like, what is just about the fact that they lost decades of their lives that we can't get back? And they're both so optimistic about that there was a purpose.
Yes.
They're an instrument of something larger.
Yes.
And all that they lost and sacrificed was for meaning that maybe we can't fully understand right now. But certainly the value and the initiative of the conviction integrity is borne out in those two men.
Melissa, to hear these stories as people talk about racism and injustice and personal stories, the personal things, how has it affected you?
It's made me wonder why I didn't know about these things before. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I didn't ask about it before. Or was there a space where people felt comfortable to talk about their personal experiences? And it's underscored for me how important diversity within our ranks is, not just in race and gender, though that's very important, but in life experience. Because if we all share a very similar life experience and see the world through a very similar lens, and we don't reflect the community that we are sworn to serve every day, that's not good for anybody. And so it's really also underscored the importance of, in our recruitment efforts, melding a incoming class that demonstrates a spectrum of life experience. I think that's important.